Welcome to the home of the Sony A7S IV, the low-light king reimagined. From in-depth reviews and pro tips to the latest news and updates, we break it all down so you can get the most out of this beast of a camera. If you're serious about cinematic storytelling or chasing that perfect shot, hit subscribe and let's push the limits of the A7S IV together. Design and build. Let's start with the design. At first glance, the Sony A7S IV maintains that familiar Alpha series look, sleek, compact, and practical. But Sony has made some subtle refinements. The grip feels slightly deeper, offering better handling, especially for longer shoots. The button layout has been reworked just enough to make it more intuitive, with customizable controls that streamline the shooting experience. The fully articulating touchscreen is sharper and brighter, which is a huge plus for vloggers and filmmakers who rely on monitoring themselves while shooting. Weather sealing has also been improved, so the Sony A7S IV can handle tougher outdoor conditions, dust, light rain, and even long sessions in challenging environments. Sensor and image quality. Now let's talk about what really matters: the sensor. The Sony A7S IV continues Sony's tradition of focusing on low-megapixel, high-performance sensors optimized for video. We're looking at a new full-frame sensor with around 12 megapixels, but don't let that number fool you. What it lacks in resolution compared to higher megapixel models, it makes up for with extraordinary light sensitivity and dynamic range. This camera excels in low-light shooting, capturing stunning detail even at high ISO levels. Whether you're filming indoors, in dimly lit events, or even outdoors at night, the Sony A7S IV delivers clean, crisp, and noise-controlled footage. For photographers, it may not replace a high-resolution workhorse like the A7R series, but for hybrid shooters who lean heavily toward video, it's a game-changer. Video performance. Of course, the headline feature of the Sony A7S IV is its video performance. This is where Sony pushes boundaries. The camera can shoot 4K video at up to 120 frames per second, giving filmmakers incredible flexibility for slow-motion footage. And thanks to oversampling, you get sharper detail and richer color depth compared to previous models. One of the biggest updates is the inclusion of 6K recording through oversampling, offering even more clarity and flexibility in post-production. If you're editing or color grading, this extra data is invaluable. Add to that 10-bit 4:2:2 internal recording, and you've got a camera ready for professional workflows. Sony has also improved rolling shutter performance, making handheld shots much smoother. Combine this with advanced in-body stabilization, and the Sony A7S IV becomes one of the most versatile handheld video cameras available today. Autofocus and tracking. Sony's autofocus system has always been industry-leading, and the Sony A7S IV is no exception. You get real-time eye autofocus for humans and animals, and it works brilliantly for both photography and video. The subject tracking feels almost predictive, locking on quickly and holding focus even in challenging conditions. For filmmakers, this means you can confidently shoot wide open at f/1.4 and still trust that your subject will remain sharp, even if they move unpredictably. This level of reliability makes the Sony A7S IV an ideal tool for weddings, documentaries, or fast-paced event coverage. Connectivity and features. Moving on to connectivity, Sony has clearly designed this camera for modern creators. You'll find dual card slots that support both CFexpress Type A and SD cards, giving you flexibility depending on your budget and recording needs. There's also full-size HDMI output, which is a massive upgrade for those who work with external monitors or recorders. The addition of improved Wi-Fi and wired Ethernet support makes live streaming and fast file transfers easier than ever. For content creators who want to go live with professional image quality, the Sony A7S IV can serve as an excellent streaming camera straight out of the box. Battery life and usability. Battery life has always been a concern with mirrorless cameras, but Sony has addressed this pretty well. The Sony A7S IV uses the NP-FC 100 battery, the same as previous Alpha models, and with the efficiency improvements in the new processor, you can expect longer shooting times on a single charge. For extended sessions, USB-C power delivery is supported, which means you can run the camera directly off a power bank or AC adapter. This is a lifesaver for long studio shoots, interviews, or all-day events. Competition and comparison. So, how does the Sony A7S IV stack up against the competition? If you compare it to cameras like the Canon EOS R5 or Panasonic GH6, Sony clearly prioritizes video flexibility and low-light performance. While some rivals might offer higher resolution stills or internal RAW recording, the Sony A7S IV hits that sweet spot for creators who need a reliable, do-it-all video machine. It's not the perfect camera for everyone. Still, photographers might lean towards Sony's A7R series. But if your focus is filmmaking, vlogging, or professional video work, the Sony A7S IV stands out as a top contender. Price and value. Of course, we need to talk about price. The Sony A7S IV sits firmly in the professional tier, so it's not the cheapest option on the market. But when you look at the feature set, reliability, and performance, it offers tremendous value for creators who are serious about video production. Think of it less as a camera and more as an investment in your craft. For filmmakers and professionals, the return on investment is clear. The Sony A7S IV gives you the tools to create content that truly stands out. So, there you have it, a full breakdown of the Sony A7S IV. From its redesigned body and upgraded sensor to its incredible video features and industry-leading autofocus, this camera proves once again why Sony continues to dominate the mirrorless market. If you're looking for the ultimate tool for professional video creation with unmatched low-light capabilities, the Sony A7S IV might just be the perfect choice for you. Today's look at the Sony A7S IV. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash the bell icon so you never miss the latest reviews, tips, and updates. Got questions or thoughts about the A7S IV? Thought balloon, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep creating and keep it cinematic.